Yeah, good morning, gents. This is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. Good morning. This is about a guy that I met in action. Well, I met quite a few in action, but this is about two guys that I met in action. And anyway, I used to go down a pub called the Anchor in Bolivage Road, and next door to my road was a place called Avenue Road. And the guy that lived down there had about 3 or 4 kids. Was a guy called Terry Sampson. And Terry Sampson, he was a milkman. He had a milkman's round, always joking, laughing about. He was one of them people that always a money getter, earning fortunes just doing the milk. And he used to go down the Anchor. We used to have a few fights down there. And Terry was one of the people that didn't want to get involved. He was always back behind everybody. And anyway, nice guy, but a bit of a tight guy. You know what I mean? He didn't want to spend any money. And anyway, he met a guy called Tommy Green. There's a lot of people out there know Tommy Green. I don't like to get too involved in it, but Tommy Green was the one that killed Joe Rouse, put him under the patio in his house. But there's a lot more than that. I think he got about a life recommended 25 years. But I've grown up with Tommy. I mean, Tommy Green comes from a Val, Acton. He's got a sister called Jackie in a Val, and a brother called Freddie that was my same age as me, that was at school with me, and Freddie could have a fight, Freddie. And Tommy was very dangerous, always very dangerous. There was knockabout with Johnny Harding, Alan Harding, Dennis Harding, us as well, Danny Williams, Arthur Williams, and Johnny Williams, and Charlie Williams. And he was a bit of you couldn't trust him. Very dangerous with a knife, and he would shoot you, mate. He would kill you without shadow of doubt. He had no fear about killing you. Anyway, he got involved with a guy called Terry Sampson, and one day they was over King's Cross over there, and they got involved with British Rail, and they wanted to buy a little bit of a property. They found a property in King's Cross, and they turned it into a club, but there was a lot of money involved. Tommy Green put 5 grand up. Terry Sampson put the rest up, but it took for ages and ages. It never seemed to end. Work all the time, and Tommy Green couldn't see the end of it. So what Tommy Green got on the crack. This is what it's all about. This is why he called Joe Rouse. He was on the crack really bad. He done some terrible things to Joe, and his family might be watching this, and I'm very sorry for even mentioning his name. Yeah. But anyway, it's part of my story, and Tommy Green done some wicked things to Joe Rouse, but shouldn't have done, yeah. Anyway, and then Tommy started getting on the crack. He done some really bad things. He done some bad things to a young girl that he was living with, his stepdaughter, and she was only young, yeah. But that's what Tommy did, and I can't run Tommy. I can run Tommy down for doing that, you know what I mean? But we've grown up together for years and years, and and his best mate is a guy called Jackie Lane, and anyway, and Jackie Lane, not a nice fella. Them two used to work. They used to work on the demolition. With a guy called Dave Beaufort. Them two was on top. They was top people. They used to do all the chimney stacks and all them sort of things. Mate, they had nerves of steel. I suppose that's why they were so dangerous. They had no nerves, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is about, all of a sudden they started doing this club, and Tommy went, no, I need my money back. It's costing me too much money, 5 grand, I need 5 grand. Took the 5 grand, because he was on the crack. He needed that money to get on the pipe, on the crack. He was doing things what he wouldn't know and never do, unless he was on that stuff. And all of a sudden Terry Sampson got involved and put a lot of money into this place, and he called it Bagley's. Bagley's nightclub, Bagley's Rave club, a rave right in King's Cross, Bagley's. And the Cross, remember the Cross? That belonged to a guy called Terry Sampson. I think the Rileys was involved in it. I heard that the Rileys were heavy on Terry Sampson's back about money and bits and pieces, but whether or not that's true, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was called Bagley's, and I went down there a few times. Had a few of my mates on the door. One of my mates called Ray the Viking. He was on the door. He ran the door with quite a few other people, and they used to sell bottles of water for silly money. And because it was a rave, it was packed. I mean, Terry Sampson won Christmas I think it was Boxing Day. He opened it up. I think he earned about 250 grand. It's crazy. You think I'm joking? He earned a fortune. He was earning like 60, 70 grand, 80 grand a night in Bagley's. And weekends, you know what I mean? It was packed. And everybody being on all ecstasy and acid and all that was everywhere. So they never used to drink. The only thing they used to drink is water. And Terry used to sell bottles by the millions. I'm not joking, by the millions, yeah? Bottles and bottles. What Terry done, because Terry's so greedy, that people that was in the club used to go down to the toilets and fill their bottles up with water, cold water, from the taps. You know, I mean, they'd already spent money coming into Bagley's. They've already spent money on bottles of water. So I suppose maybe they never had the money to buy more bottles of water. Or it's easier for them to go down to the toilet and fill up. So you know what Terry done? He turned the water off. Is that clever? He turned the water off in Bagley's toilets. The women's toilets as well as the men's toilets, he turned the water off, yeah? That is a bit of a clever guy. He's very tight. And my mate Ray used to pick up money from Bagley's and take it across the water to Jersey for tax evasion, yeah? And Terry Sampson, Terry Sampson become malted up, and not only was he malted up, but he was also gay. He had a club across the Vauxhall Bridge, a gay club. He had another club, a Jamaican club. I forget the names of that. I mean, he just was buying clubs and places everywhere. And the house he lived in Avenue Road was massive. Was a massive house. He bought that. It's got about 10, 15 bedrooms. Yeah, and he just hit the front, mate. He just went forward. Tommy Green, he got nicked for the Joe House time out. He got put away, I think, for life in 25, something like. He's been away a long time. Maybe one day he's going to get out. Poor old Tom. Now, you know what I mean. I know, mate. Some of the things he done was unbelievable. I shouldn't think they're going to let anybody know when he comes out. But all the family live in Newquay, and a lot of my mates live in Keith Jakeman, Philip Jakeman, Gary Jakeman, Richard McNeil, most Gary's dead, Richard McNeil's dead, rest in peace, you two. Keith Jakeman's still there. Philip Jakeman, I think, I'm not quite sure he's in Newquay, but nice people, good big family, dangerous family. They can never fight, they're not fighting, they all stick together, they all train, they're good trainers. Me and Gary grew up as kids, and Gary was an handful. I mean, Gary today, if he had been alive today and been wrapped around me, it'd been nice. You know what I mean? That'd have been a bit of a firm. But Gary went his own way, went to Newquay, because we all went to Newquay as kids, and we used to go to a place called Perrimport, and we used to surf out there, do a lot of surfing. Long hair, can you imagine me? I've got no hair now, but long hair, all tanned up, muscular, doing the surfing. Yeah, I was one of them people, you know what I mean? But Freddie Green, Gary Jakeman, and Richard McNeil, and Keith, they all stayed in Newquay, and a good life, mate. I mean, good life, Newquay, the beautiful, beautiful sunshine. The water was absolutely out of this world. I remember I was surfing outside Perrimport. We was on the boards, paddling out to the waves. Listen. I see these fins come out of the water, right? I went, shark! Listen, mate, I'm telling you, this thing was, I don't know, 20 foot long, 30 foot long, could have been 50 foot long. It was a thing called a basking shark, and they open their mouths are absolutely massive, like a whale's mouth, eating plankton. But you wouldn't want to be sucked in by that, you know what I mean? It would suck you in. I mean, you're definitely going to die. It just take you in, it suck you in, mate. And this film was getting nearer and nearer to us, you know what I mean? It looked like a tiger shark. It was the same thing as a tiger shark, massive. And we was in the water and we was paddling away with this thing, and it was lucky really because we hit a wave and the wave took us in. But sometimes you get a rip current, and we've all gone through it, surfing. You get a rip current, takes you out about 30, 40 metres under the water. So as soon as it comes in, hits you, boom, you got the board strapped to your ankle, so you don't lose your board. So that's that's the only thing that really saves you is the ball, because it doesn't rips you right out, But the current's unbelievable in Newquay. Anyway, and go back to Terry Sampson. And then Terry Sampson got involved with some really, really bad people over that way, over at King's Cross, and they controlled the Bagleys and the Cross, yeah. So, you know, he had these people that are a bit heavy, and they was demanding money, and I know the names, but I'm going to put it on YouTube as such, yeah. I've already said their names. Anyway, so Terry Sampson got hold of me and a few other people to sort things out. But as I say, with big families, it's very, very hard to get involved with, you know what I mean? Other people, I mean, really, we're heavy, but we're not as heavy as this family, you know what I mean? But, you know, we wouldn't let anybody take the piss. So we was on with Terry Sampson, we was minding his back and all that, but nothing happened when we was with him. But it could have done, you know what I mean? And anyway, and then obviously I got down Bagleys quite a lot, and my mate Rave the Viking was the top man involved in security there. Mate, I've had some fights in there, you wouldn't believe it. And the fights, really, they're not really fights as such, because most of the people in there are out there nut on ease and acid and all that, and all kind of cuckoo land, all half naked. So the fights really wasn't a fight, it was just a clump and it's all over. But, you know, you can kind of stuck in there, you know what I mean? I mean, there was quite a few people that was similar to myself, dancing there, just raving off, having a good time. And if you don't know what they've got, they can stab you up easy. I mean, come on. All us big time Charlie Potatoes, me, loads of people think that we can't be touched, but you can be touched, you know what I mean? People can stab you in the back. I've been stabbed a few times myself. People can hit you over the head with an axe. People can shoot you. You know, just because you got a name doesn't mean that people can't kill you. It's quite easy in a way, you know what I mean? But it's a consequence you've got to suffer. But we all do that. We've got to suffer the consequences after we do what we do. That's why I've got an IPP down to crack cocaine. There again, you know, crack cocaine ruined my life, and it's ruined a lot of people's lives, you know. I'm going to do a podcast maybe today or tomorrow. I got a thing on my YouTube channel, a comment from someone, and it's unbelievable. I mean, this judge, top judge at the Old Bailey, I'll give his name on my podcast. I was going to talk to someone first to see if I could do that. I was sexually abused as a child, yeah, in a home. But this home was in Wales, I believe, yeah. Someone's been on podcast yesterday and given me a comment to say a top judge at the Old Bailey, yeah, did sexually abuse his mate. He gave me the judge's name, his real name, and everything. His top judge sexually abused this kid, yeah, for quite a long time. And these judges, this judge, gave me a big sentence. And that judge was a paedophile. And it's unbelievable that a judge can do what he did and still sit and don't get nicked. So that means if the top judge is doing it, that means half of the Bailey was doing it. Judges, QCs, barristers, they was all at it. And then people were putting us away for serious crimes. So when people come up in front of them for paedophilia, and for rape and things like that, what do? They give them no sentences at all, because they see us as a threat to them. We're the threat, we're the violence. They see us as a threat. I will do a podcast about it. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please like and subscribe, and look out for the next podcast I'm doing. I'm going to have a bit of talk to someone about a bit of advice on it. But this judge, you won't believe it. There's quite a few people have been sentenced to this from this judge, yeah? And he's a bad judge, mate. I'm on about in the 70s, yeah? 70s up to the 80s, yeah? Bad judge. Anyway, later.